Russo Italiano sponsors Boxing Bros UK.
Everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK. I am the boss, Chris. It's my co-host, Andrew the Boxing Brain. And
Bosh.
Today's topic of the day, the heavy-duty Impact card. And we're covering the first fight. And it is not the main event, the chief support.
David Adeleye versus Jimmy
TKV. I'll let you go. I've done a little bit of research myself on
yeah.
We know Adeleye.
Yeah. I mean, look, look, we know David Adeleye. We'll quickly start with him. We know he's a big punching heavyweight. You know, he's got the English title. You know, is he British level? What's his ceiling? Is he potentially world level, European? I don't really know, to be honest. I hope this lasts longer than the Solomon Dakers fight. I hope Jamie's able to give him a few. I know they've done a bit of sparring. He's been in there with the Atomas and the like, but sparring is sparring, Chris. Adeleye 13, 12 KOs, 1 loss to Wardley. No shame in that. Stepping up to British level. Wardley's a massive punching heavyweight. We know that. We know his ability. Yeah, so I like Adeleye. I like the cut of his jib. Chris the boss Chris has interviewed him, and he's quite an intimidating presence, which is hard to do with Chris. If you see the size of Chris, that's quite a hard thing to do. But he's quite a commanding presence, Chris, isn't he? You know, he's quite straight talking. You know, he don't fuck about in the interviews, and he's that kind of stoic kind of guy, isn't he?
It's really,
and I think
really short sometimes.
Yeah, and I think what Jamie's trying to do, and I want to see if you're kind of coming along with me here, Chris. I think what he's trying to do, the table flipping game, all kind of reenacting his inner Derek Chisora, he's trying to rattle David Adeleye a bit, get him a bit emotional, maybe try and take him into deeper waters in the fight, let David Adeleye punch himself out a bit because he's a bit upset. I think that's the tactic. He's trying to get to him and maybe rattle him a little bit. And it could backfire terribly, of course. That's my opinion of what he's trying to do. Everyone's writing Jamie off. We know that. I mean, what's his record? 8-5-1, but he's fought nobody. This is a big jump up for him, Chris, a massive jump up.
Sure.
I don't give him a hope in hell. For me, this is an easy David Adeleye knockout. Hope this don't come to bite him on the bum. And I think Jamie's trying to rattle him. That's what I think. But what do you think? Maybe you think different. I don't know.
Oh, I think a little bit different. So I watched it. Have you watched any fight footage of him?
Bits here and there. And there. Not overly impressed.
Ignore the orangutan titties that he's got that are just flapping around in the wind when he's walking around the ring. Ignore it, because it's hard to not stare at how grotesque his body looks, you know, because he's got horrible man boobs. Like, they look like an orangutan. Horrible.
Controversial.
but you look at him and you can't stop focusing on how horrible shape he looks in. But he looks, he's got some skills. He's got he's got an all right jab, pretty fast. It's not a slow jab. He steps into it and he shoots it out fast. True. And he's quite strong. He's a dirty fighter as well. Very dirty. Always holding, headbutting, elbowing. I watched some highlights, and I think the fighter who was fighting quit because he kept fouling him. And he's like, "Oh, fuck this! I'm not going to win anyway." And he's fucking elbowing me and everything. Fuck it, and just quit. So,
do you know what? You could be right. I mean, we all know, don't we? We've spoke about this, Chris. Like in the heavyweight division, you don't need to be body beautiful. Andy Ruiz, Tyson Fury, John Ruiz back in the day, all built like bags of milk. You know, it's a fight. You know, of course, conditioning. We know conditioning's a big. Of course, we know that. Only look at Bacoli not too long ago to know that. But and you'll know more than this than me, Chris, with your experience. But if that's what he's used to walking around at, if that's how his body is and that's what he's used to, and he's comfortable at that weight and with that body shape and conditioning, it can be very misleading, can't it? Because he might very well be able to do 12, 14, 15 rounds because he's used to that. That's how his body is, you know. So,
I'm predicting. I'm predicting an Adeleye win, but how can I say this?
Yeah,
because got to be diplomatic. I predict an Adeleye win. I think he's got the best, more power, faster, all around. He's got better skills, but I think TKV. I think he's got faster hands.
Mm.
Adelaide's good, like all rounders in like good jab, good thing, but like all rounder. He's good at everything, but not excels at power. And that TKV, he's got a little bit faster hand speed. I think anyway.
So do you think, Chris? I can see where you're going with your analysis. So I want to ask you. If Jamie's got that, and he did look like he had decent hands and was putting his hands together quite well, and he did look like they were kind of deceptively, because sometimes it can be deceptive. Do you think if he's that little bit quicker,
you're looking at his back, the orangutan's he's flapping around while he's fighting? That's why.
If he's a little bit quicker to the jab and quicker to the punch and is able to get 2 or 3 shots in, you know, if Adelaide's obviously throwing a jab and he's able to kind of work his combinations, get on the inside, or try and get 2, 3, 4 punch combination. Do you think there could potentially could he drag him late on then? Is that what you've got?
I think, I'm picking Adeleye to win, but if TKV wins or it's a draw or something, I won't be surprised, because let's not forget when Adeleye, take all things into account, not up for the fight, all that shit. But when he should have lost to a journeyman, do you remember?
Yes,
Ozganovsky. So I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
but he's a journeyman who always game as a go, and you won't put him down, you won't put him out. Like, he's really tough, and he causes the odd upset, or he makes you look bad.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name for the life. Anyone in the comment section, if you know the name of David Adeleye, that fight that he should have lost. He should have lost it and never rematched him.
Yeah, he struggled a bit in that one. The other point,
I took it easy on him.
The other point I'd make, Chris, this is kind of my only other point for this fight. I think for Jamie, all right, it's a big step up, and I don't know enough about the guy. Again, I would really like to interview him. Actually, I wish. Unfortunately, we couldn't get there because we're working class lads and we can't afford to keep travelling up to Manchester and back and all this sort of stuff. But I would like to have kind of got sort of interviewed him and sort of ask questions around how he deals with pressure, because you can tell a lot about a man with the sort of upbringing, the life they've had, you know. Because if he has, I don't know. This is the thing. If he's had a tough life, if he's from the streets, I don't know. Because if he has, he'll be able to deal with that pressure of getting under the lights, a big fight, you know, all the cameras on him, David Adeleye. If he's able to handle that pressure, it's a massive moment for him. If he beats Adeleye, he's got, you know, real big opportunities in the heavyweight.
He'll be fighting Moses the Puma. He'll be fighting anybody out there. All the want to fight.
Yeah, he's potentially got some big fight and therefore more money. So, listen, I'm trying to make a case for him a bit. If he's massively motivated, if he uses a bit of the dark arts, he leaves his head in a bit, as you say, and tries to rough him up a bit, his speedness of hand, his quick, you know, if he can beat him to the punch a bit. Look, who knows? It's the heavyweight division. Who knows? It might just be his moment, his day, Chris. Yeah, you don't know, do you?
I'm loving the needle as well. I love a bit of needle. Some people don't like it.
Was it genuine? Was it genuine, all that table frame? What do you think?
This is what I think, that they're acquaintances outside of boxing, because that's going on at the press conference. Yeah, you rang me. So there was at the studio filming The Gloves Are Off or something. Have you seen the footage?
I've seen like little bits and pieces, yeah, here and there.
So basically, I don't care. David Adeleye, he bottled it. The security guards, like, he was saying, "Calm down, Jamie. Calm down. Just calm down." And that Jamie, whatever he's called, DKV, was going, shut the fuck up, bro. Who the fuck are you talking to? Come here now. And Adeleye was like, hats off to him, to be fair, because we want to see the fight. We don't want him seeing rocking in a fucking studio when they're only going to fight for 3 seconds before security grab him. But he didn't really stand his ground. But fair play for being like Jesus, turning the other cheek and saying, just calm down, mate, calm down, and then walked out.
I saw a bit of that. Yeah.
And then at the press conference, someone's lying, and I think it's that Jamie. And I think he's telling lies to wind up David Adeleye. I think it's genuine. I think it's like, because they're fighting each other, he's thinking, right, I'm going to try and wind him up. So he's telling lies to wind him up and making out like it's true. That's what I think's happened anyway. And I do think Adelaide telling the truth, that he was ringing him, licking his ass, saying, oh, can we fight after Dacre's fight and all that? Like, you know, and then he's trying to, and he's just telling lies to try and get in his head, to try and wind up, sell the fight a bit. And that's why he flipped the table. It's not genuine, but it is that explanation thing, because they're friends outside. He's doing it on purpose. He knows he's lying, but he's trying to sell the fight a bit. And I don't think they're colluding together, and it's an act. I think that Jamie has decided, I'm going to be a fucker to him. He thinks we're friends. Fuck him. I'm going to wind him right up for the fight.
The only thing he needs to be careful of is to save a bit of that energy for the ring. He's expending a lot of energy in this build-up, a lot of emotional energy, right? And that can actually drain you before a fight. All this emotional energy. He gets to the event on Saturday night, right? You know, we know our boxing. It's getting all he needs to just start. He needs a bit of meditation in the fucking in the dressing room, but he needs just save some of that. Otherwise, he's going to go in there and he's going to fucking blow out his ass after 2 rounds if he's not careful.
He's going to spirit his
he needs to just chill out. Chill out now. He needs to get locked in now, because he's really trying to rattle Adeleye, and he's really trying to. And Adelaide's a bit more experienced, a bit wild. And he's keeping his temperament. He's like, okay, you know, whatever. I'll see you in the ring. So I get that.
So
we'll see, mate. I'll get
final prediction. So 1 point for the winner, and then another point if it goes exactly how I say. I'm going to say,
yes,
Adeleye for the win. And and this is my other point. It's going to be a hard fight, and that TKV is going to make a fight of it, and he's going to make Adeleye look bad. And it's going to be a good fight, and it's going to be a hard fought fight. It's not going to be a washout. And I'm going to say unanimous decision. Unanimous decision.
Oh, interesting. Is this a 10-rounder, this one, Chris? How many rounds do they find?
I believe so. It's either 10 or 12, yeah. The British title, 12 rounds for the British, because is it the English title or British?
I think, David Adelaide's English title would be on the line, wouldn't it? I would expect, yeah.
It's just the English title.
I don't know because Wardley's vacated it, hasn't he? But Wardley fairly recently vacated the British title. So I'm going to go. It's an interest, because I don't. I wish I kind of seen a little bit more of Jamie. I've seen sort of bits of clips, and there's not a great deal out there on YouTube of his stuff. I think I'm going to go with an Adeleye KO. Stoppage, whether some form of stoppage. I think it could be a bit tricky though. As I sort of discussed this with you, I'm going to go sort of round 6 to 8. I don't think it will be a Solomon Dacres washout.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll go with. Yeah. I'll put my neck on the line. We'll go with that.
All right then. Okay. Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts.